today we're here in California. It is windy as all get out, but my buddy has acquired a fuel leak coming from his auxiliary tank. So we're going to take these 3 bolts out. There's only the one right there in the center, and then there's one on each side right down here. Going to take, it's 3 bolts total, and taking the rubber line off down there, we'll get it off, take the fuel tank out, and see if we can find where it's coming from. And then we got this JB Weld aluminum repair kit we're going to try on it. We expected somewhere around here, we expected there to be fuel from there down. But like I said, he puts about 25 gallons of fuel in, he's good. Any more than that and it'll start leaking. So I think we're gonna flip it over and look it over a little better. And this is the tank it is. So you guys can see that, and if not, I will screenshot it bigger. He said the gauge right here has not worked since the day he got it, and now we're seeing all the plastic particles down in there, but we're not gonna have a chance to clean that out. But we're gonna set you guys down, flip it up on its edge. Got my finger off it. There's a crack right here in the weld. It's right here, and that's where it's leaking from. You can see it running down the whole tank. He had about 3 inches of fuel in the tank, and yeah, right down through here.
Well, we grooved this out a little bit so we could fill it with the filler, but you can see that crack starting right here.
Oh, I see it good on camera right there.
All the way down.
Yeah. And he went a little bit past it on both ends. He went above it a little bit and below it a little bit. And that way we'll have a ledge for that filler to set into, to pack into. All right, the best way made out of the directions, you just squeeze on one of these, it pops that seal in the middle, and it'll run it to the other side. You just keep chasing it back and forth and get it all mixed to one color, and you get to start spreading. So we're gonna give that a shot. There it goes. So while we're waiting on that to set, I wanted to mention, if you're installing your own tank, make sure and put down some kind of a felt or rubber pad. You don't want that tank sitting directly on the floor. It will rub holes in it, and that's kind of what we worried, that one of those had gotten misplaced or out of place or something like that, or a screw had gotten underneath it and stuck up and rubbed it from the bottom, because you know you can't fill in those grooves hardly. But we did notice all the fuel kept accumulating in this corner right here. So we've been sitting around for a little bit, about 2 hours, and it's doing really good. I mean, it's not hard to rock yet, but it is not far from it. And we messed up. We read the instructions after we put it on, you know, like you're supposed to, and it said the curing time is 4 hours. So we're thinking it sets up in 5 minutes and cures in 4 hours. So we're gonna tip it up and see if it leaks, because we want to go ahead and get this put back in before the sun goes down. So, yep. And earlier when he did this, it just started free flowing. I mean, it was just steady stream. We're still not gonna put fuel in it until tomorrow, but, and yeah, if you guys are wondering, I don't have my glasses on me, so I'm actually using the camera to look for fuel. It's ugly, but it's gonna be against the front of the truck where nobody's gonna see it anyway. And this right here, that black right there, that streak, that's not like a crack or anything. That's the coloration of the putty. I think when it cures, it'll all be that color. But I don't see a thing. Alright, so it's the next day, moment of truth. We're topping the auxiliary tank off. We're not going to top the pickup off, just because if this thing starts leaking, we do want to be able to turn it on and let it run into the truck so it doesn't leak out. But that should be plenty enough to get him to our next fuel stop. And he is squeezing it completely full, so we should know pretty quick if it's going to leak or not. Run my hand all the way from the bottom to the top. Dry hand. I think we're good. So today we're here in Cfarmeronyt, New Mexico, here at Russell's Truck Stop. Now, we fixed it on Monday evening. He put fuel in it on Tuesday morning and completely packed it full. And then we drove all the way here. Now, he did have to turn it on the way, but before, it was puddling out. When you would come around here, I mean, it would just be free falling if he would have filled it up. Well, we're here today, sunny and cold, Effingham, Illinois, and I wanted to do a little update. So we got fuel in Kingman, came all the way back across the country, and no leaks. But whenever we got to, when we filled up that last time, I put my hand in here and rubbed up behind the tank where we fixed it at, and it had a little bit of diesel residue on it. We checked our cap, pulled the caps off, and the tank was still full. It just, I had fuel on my fingers, and after riding along that day, but when he got out and turned it on, it did have just a little bit of diesel residue in the bed, so it's weeping a little bit. So I just wanted to make sure and give the most honest review that I could on this stuff, and does it work and all that stuff. And I will tell you that if I had a tank that was cracked and leaking like his was, it was definitely worth the time to pull it out. I mean, we did fill it up and rode all the way across the country with it before we opened it up, just to let it sit there and beat and bang around on a full tank. And through all that, the first couple of days, nothing. But then when we got all the way back to Indiana, it was still full. It was still full. I think he had drained about a half a tank out of it, and then we filled it right back up in Oklahoma City and let it ride all the way to Indiana. And like I say, it just had that diesel residue on it. It wasn't free flowing out like it was before, but it had definitely been weeping. And I'm gonna call it weeping because we pulled the caps off and it was still right at the bottom of the caps. So the stuff definitely patched it up, but it still needs to go somewhere to be welded up and fixed. So got us out of a bind. Now, I'm in no way, shape, form, or fashion knocking RDS tanks. I have one, I love it. I've been banging it down the road for 2.5 years. I've never had any issues whatsoever out of it. I know tons of other people that have RDS products that haven't had an issue. My personal opinion, this is not his opinion or anybody else's, it's mine. I believe the tank was damaged in shipping. He ordered it off Amazon. When it came in, I think I recall him telling me that the box was banged up pretty bad, but the tank looked okay, and the fuel sending unit did not work right off the bat. So I think it may have been dropped or damaged, dropped hard enough that it may have stressed that point. I don't know that for sure. That's just my theory. It's kind of odd. It's been 6 months since he put it in at least, and it hasn't given any issues. So anyway, I'll leave a link to my tank, his tank, if you want to get dimensions or, you know, something like that to see if it will fit your truck, or, you know, if you need it for anything. And I'll also leave a link to the JB Weld aluminum tank repair kit, I believe is what it's called. I'll leave that in the description as well so you know what it looks like. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I just realized I hit 5,000 subscribers, and that blows my mind. I never thought I would hit 500. You guys are awesome. I appreciate everything you do. You know, watching the videos, sharing the videos, and clicking the like button. It means everything to me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you again in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.